In this episode, I ask Jim if he's ever had a salesperson that he was ready to let go, stayed on, and it made a big difference. He breaks down why you should train. He breaks down the process of what that looks like for him and his team. And he talks about some insights and some revelations that you may not have thought of that really impact how you build and grow a team. So stay tuned. I think you'll enjoy.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey. And Jim, you've talked about the importance of training a team. Has there ever been a person who you were ready to let go and decided not to, and they ended up surprising you in the end?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Letting people go, firing, however you want to look at that, firing them, dismissing them, whatever, it's just a really slippery slope. And that you're dealing with a human being.
Yeah.
They have a family, most likely, expenses and different things. It's a terrible thing. It's awful. It's like to me at least, always the worst thing ever is having to face that down. And sometimes the reason mostly that we let somebody go, or I did over the years, was they just wouldn't do what I wanted them to do. And that was it. So I had a very specific process of how I wanted to conduct my business.
Yes.
It was my business.
That's right.
It was my blood, sweat, and tears. It was my investment. And so I had a methodology that I utilized that I wanted my team to do. And so my goal was always to get the team to do what I call the process. I wanted them to do the process, and I worked very hard to get them to do the process. And then I had a way of measuring whether or not they were doing the process. And I can't get into the deep weeds of that, but I can tell you that you have to have a way of measuring. And so this morning, before everything, I weighed myself. And I know for a fact that I weighed 156.6 pounds. And my scale is a body composition scale. So it gives me a whole lot of data. That information goes into my phone. It's in my phone basically forever, but it's there. Now my goal, and I know what's he talking about this weight stuff for? There's a reason.
I was like,
My goal was to get to 160. I want to be at 160. And so the message to Jim Shorkey this morning, based on the 156.6, is, Jim, you got to work on it more. So I'm going to do that today. And then I'm going to weigh myself again tomorrow. So no matter what you do in life, it's really important that you have a goal, number one. It's really important that you have a reason why for the goal, number one. Once we have the goal and we have the reason why for the goal, we want that reason why to make us cry. And again, I can't get into too much detail over it. Goal, reason why that makes us cry. And then three, we seek expert counsel to figure out what it is that we need to do to get to the goal. Now let's go back to your question, okay? I had a goal. I wanted to make X amount of money per month, net profit. In order to do that, I had to produce a certain amount of revenue, and I had to control my expenses to a certain extent.
So I have a certain amount of people that were trained in the process.
Let me answer the question.
Yep.
So I had to make a certain amount of revenue, and I had to control my expenses, right? So knowing what the revenue number was, and I would back into how many cars that I need to sell to do that, okay? And I knew that number, okay? And then in order to do that, I needed to figure out how many salespeople I need to do that number. And I look at the results, like, geez, I need 10 salespeople to do that. I only have 8. It's going to be harder now. So what I needed to do was to go out and find myself 2 salespeople. And what I needed to do with those 2 salespeople was I needed to train them on what it is that I wanted them to do, because that's what I needed to get done to get to that revenue goal, right? I needed to get 2 salespeople. And if I was going to train 2, wouldn't it make sense to train 3 or 4 or 5?
Yeah.
So within the 8, I had a couple superstars, and they're just knocking it out of the park. Hey, listen, guys,
good.
go sell cars. You don't need my training today. You're in the class. You need the training. So I would train and retrain at the same time. So it was always about the training. So you did answer that question,
Yes,
but you
yes.
didn't let me give you my
Yeah, I
rationale.
went too fast.
Train. So I would train the people to do my process. And then back to the scale. My scale, I had a system within my systems that I could tell what the weight was on a daily basis. And I just said, my weight is too low. I need to eat more. So based on the parameters of what I measure within the business, I knew what I needed to work on today. So every day I came in, oh, we're off over here. Let's work on that. Oh, we're off over here. Let's work on that. Oh, look here. This is great. Let's hug on that. So we trained or hugged based on those parameters that I was measuring, like the scale. Now do you know why I said that? Okay. And so we're training, and this same girl, this same guy keeps coming up on the radar, and we keep training. And she keeps coming up on the radar, and we keep training. And at some point, hey, Derek, I love you, man. I do. I really do. I love you. But you know what? We've had this sit down now. This is the 3, 4, whatever time, a number of times. I've trained and trained and trained and trained, and you're clearly not going to do what I want you to do.
Not getting
It's
it.
time for you to go.
Yep.
And what do I need to do now? Because I went from, let's say I got rid, let's say 2. So, and it's a tough one, by the way. It's a tough one. Because I love this girl. Really, I do. And I know her family. But hey, this is a business, gang. This is a business. So we got to let her go. And now what are we going to do? Her and another one, 2 people. What do I got to do now?
Now I got to train another one.
I got to go get more people.
Yep.
And we keep going through this cycle. And eventually, over time, we end up with 10 people that are doing what we want them to do. And we know because we're measuring every day. Eventually, my goal, by the way, is 160. Eventually, if I do the right things, I'm going to get to 160. Think I will?
Yes.
Is there any doubt in your mind?
No.
You know I will. And by the way, that scale measures my muscle mass, measures my bone density. It's called a body composition scale. So I know what's going on. And then I take that information and I share that with Mark, who we talked to this morning, my physical therapist / physical trainer. And I told, what did I tell you, Marshall? I was farmer's carrying this morning. What did I tell you I was farmer's carrying? Was it 245s?
Yeah.
I was carrying 90 pounds. 69-year-old worn out car salesman. And that's pretty much easy these days. 90 pounds. Not yesterday, but the day before, I was carrying 120, 60. And you know what my goal is for farmer's carry? It's 160, because that's what I want my weight to be.
Right.
And according to Dr. Peter Attia, expert counsel, Outlive, you got the book, right?
Yep.
You're working on it, right?
Yep.
What does he want me to carry? Farmer's carry. Do you know? Do you remember?
Yeah. I think it's your body weight.
Your
right?
body weight.
Yep.
So I got 160 in my brain, knowing I'm going to get to 160. That means I got to carry 280s. Guess what I have on order right now?
280s.
280-pound dumbbells. They're on order.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek, did I answer your question?
Yes.
It sounds convoluted, but it's really not. Because the point is, and what I want to teach you as we go through this process of the podcast is once I teach you how to achieve a goal, I don't care what the goal is. It doesn't matter. But we teach you, Derek and I and Marshall, how to achieve a goal. Do you understand now that you now know how to achieve any goal?
Yeah.
Think I'm right?
Yeah.
It's going to be all about the goal. There's your reason why I make you cry. Seek expert counsel. Get your to-do list. Get your to-not-do list. And people will tell you, focus on the goal. No. Focus on the list. If the list came from expert counsel and we do the list, what should happen?
Needle moves in the right
If
direction.
the to-not-do list came from expert counsel and we stop doing the nonsense over there, what should happen?
We gain a ton of time back and we move toward the right direction.
We're moving it towards the goal.
Yep.
So if we're doing the list, we're moving towards the goal.
Yep.
If we're doing the to-do list, we're moving towards the goal. If we're executing the to-not-do list, we're moving towards the goal. We're going to get there. So why would we focus on the goal?
Yeah.
Put the goal in your mirror. You could say 160. That's all you need to do? 160. Boom. I see it every day. 160. 150. What was it? 156.6 this morning.
Yep.
Okay, I get that. I have all kinds of stuff I'm doing. You know what I'm doing.
of course.
I talked about Inside Tracker, right? I told you, well, we already have the design for a future podcast, do we not?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes.
Explain it to me.
So Mark Mastriano is a wonderful guy. He wants to. You guys have been doing Insight Tracker together, which gives you a ton of kind of biometrics to
Inside
track
Tracker. Inside.
different pieces of different measurables, right? And then it says, hey, based on this measurable, you should be doing X, right? And you go, oh man, I should be doing X. Okay, let me go buy this to do X.
Yep.
Then you do X, you recheck yourself, and you're like, okay, that improved, but this didn't. Let me work on this now.
And they'll tell you that. What it is, it's blood work. They take, based on the blood work, they have these metrics. It's your LDL, your HDL, your magnesium, your vitamin D, whatever, all these different metrics. And then based on those metrics, you're going to get a green light, a yellow light, or a red light. Red light is not so good. Yellow light, shaky. Green light, optimal. And then based on all that information, then they're going to give you a game plan. So Mark Mastriano, who's my physical therapist, physical trainer, his wife, Laura, also she's a physical trainer as well. We're going to do this together, all three of us. And we're going to see what we come up with. And we're going to coach each other. And then we're going to do the podcast.
Wow.
And that's going to be exciting. But that really is Rethink You 2.0.
Yes, it is.
We're just rethinking ourselves from the inside out. And a lot of times we're rethinking ourselves from the outside in, which is okay. I got to make phone calls. I get that. I've got to eat strawberries. Okay? I got to put strawberries in my mouth.
Yep.
Now, by the way, if I become a better version of this, if I become a better me,
Right.
what can I do better?
Love your family, all the internal stuff.
I can make better phone calls.
Yep.
If I'm a better version of myself, can I make better phone calls?
Yes.
Can I run better sales meetings?
Yes.
Can I be a better trainer?
Yes.
Can I not be so tired sometimes? Sometimes I would go into the dealership. I'm riff.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm tired because I wasn't doing the right stuff.
Yeah. You were talking about training, right? We'll close with this. Is there ever a time where you felt like, okay, this person's close, not quite there, but if I train them, like training costs a lot, right? If I could just nudge them this far.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Go
Hold
ahead.
your thought. Hold it, please.
Yes.
Training is the most inexpensive thing that we do. What's the most expensive thing that we do?
I know this one.
What's the most expensive thing that we do? Think. Go deep. It's the most expensive thing that we do.
Like,
I'll give you a
most
hint. We don't do it. Training is very inexpensive.
not training.
That's what's expensive.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say you keep people along.
Training is really expensive. You have an ill-trained person who's going to go out there and mishandle your clientele. What is it costing you?
Many customers who walk out
It's
the
not the
door.
training that's expensive. It's the not training. You hear me?
Yeah, it costs more.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. It's not even close. Yeah, it takes time and energy. Continue your question. I didn't like what you said there, but continue your question.
Is there ever a time where you gave someone maybe a second chance and they surprised you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to have a sense of compassion. And I do believe in a second and third and fourth chance. I really do. It makes me cry. I think our people deserve better than that, than just to cut them off. I think 3 strikes, 4 strikes is good. And I think at that point, they really get. And I've had people that I've got to the 4th strike and they won't leave. And it's, I'm a softie. It's like, all right, come on, get out of here, go do it. And they come around. So you have to have some sense of love and some sense of compassion. And these really are people. And I have 2 dogs, Coda and Bear, and I love those guys.
Yeah.
I love them dearly. And I'm not going to abuse them. And I think sometimes as employers, we abuse our people. So I think it's a very slippery slope. Let's be careful.
Yeah.
Does the person really merit being dismissed? Now, if they're being belligerent, I won't tolerate your bad attitude. I won't tolerate your causing trouble. I have no compassion for you. If you're going to be bad-mouthing the company, bad-mouthing me, bad-mouthing the customers, you're gone. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
It's the old don't let the door hit you in the rear end on the way out. I'm not putting up with that crap. But if it's just a question of you're having a hard time, I've had people cry in my office. They're so frustrated. And we just go through it again. So maybe it does take a 5th or 6th time. But I got to look at them.
Yep.
If they're fighting me on the process, no, they're going to go.
Yep.
If they're just having a hard time gripping it,
Yep.
then I'm going to try harder. And I have had people turn around to you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, guys. Please leave a dolphin emoji in the comments if you made it to the end. Please ask us your questions. If you're on YouTube, please like and comment. We would love to hear your feedback.
And it's okay. You're okay. If you think Jim Shorkey's crazy, you're welcome to state that as well, because I am. I'm a nut. I know. But it is what it is.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jim. We'll see you on the next episode.